Silent Friend premiered late into the Venice Film Festival. It is set in the botanical garden of Marburg, a medieval university town in Germany, and tells 3 stories connected to a tree over a period of more than 100 years. Kevin, this was one of our highlights of the festival. You already had it on your radar. It stars Tony Leung, Léa Seydoux, Luna Wedler, who's a Swiss actress, and a couple of other people who maybe are like a bit lesser known, and it is taking place, like it mentions, in 3 different time periods. One of them, with Tony Leung, takes place in 2020 during the height of like the lockdown of COVID pandemic, where he's locked up in the actual university almost by himself. Some charming interactions that we'll talk about soon. And then Luna Wedler is like the earliest point, where it doesn't really give you a specific point when it takes like time when it takes place in. We just know that like the tree itself was planted in like 1827. Oh, 1882?
Yeah.
I wrote down 32. Might be after, I don't know.
Anyway, 1800s, definitely.
The film itself, I think, is such like a beautiful piece of media that feels like it's a meditation and moving in and out of the different time periods that are like shot differently. One of them has a digital look to it, the other one like very 70s film aesthetic, and the one the earliest with Luna Wedler is like one that's told in black and white. So there's a distinct difference in looks, but you get the same sort of like feeling that connects all of them, that like in the editing of this film you weave in and out of them pretty seamlessly without like, okay, now we go back to this and it's like this is a time period. But no, it's very, very fluid the way it's all connected. I found this to be a delightful experience. I was laughing, laughing, yes, it was
grinning.
Funny, but also laughing, grinning, because I had a good time. There's not like too heavy subjects in this movie. It's pretty like, you know, it's nothing that it was devastating.
No.
And it was just pretty life affirming. It felt like it's sort of a connection. I love this film. I had a great time with it.
I mean, hell, even one scene that could have been pretty dark or depressing is when Luna Wedler gets interrogated by a jury to get into the university she wants, because it's the first year they would allow a female student in. One of the jury members has had a certain thing set up for all the female students that would come in and apply for it, and Luna Wedler's character just sort of aces to this test. As at a certain point she has to name the Latin title of either a book or the full title of a book in another languages, and she does so perfectly. It's a pretty long one, and literally, it's like literally long one, and just she rattles off that entire name, and the whole audience was like, "Damn, girl, yeah."
Press audience as well.
Press audience as well.
Yeah.
Not even the regular one. To me, Silent Friend is this year's perfect day. Do you remember when he was like taking care of his little plants with his little glasses on, and like imagine that in a 2-hour and 30-minute movie that is so chill, it's such a vibe. You sort of relax back. Vibe. That is what Silent Friend is to me. I guess the only people that are expecting a lot of Léa Seydoux, she's mostly on a computer monitor in pristine quality, might I add.
Such high quality. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Which is funny, man. Because when Tony...
I was like, this is 2020? This is not like 2120? That's crazy. That looks crazy. And yeah, it's funny because there's like a couple of moments
with another person, and
actually, it's just Léa Seydoux.
That looks like it's straight on Skype. You know what I mean?
That was pretty funny. But yeah, there's like a story that happens in the 70s where there's like a guy who is just living on the university grounds. So I don't even know what he studies, but then he meets a girl who's like doing a study on a plant and like how that reacts to just doing a study on communicating potentially with plants. And the way that like sort of unfolds is it's so jolly. It's like it's so fun. It's like there's not a care in the world other than like
It's creative.
Like it's really creative, yeah. And what he could, like, I don't know, I had so much fun with especially that part of it. And then the Luna Wedler stuff is like, you obviously feel like hers is going to be the heaviest, because there's the burden of
the social standing she has
over like the university, of not getting in and carving out the place for her. And even that is like, obviously you could be like reducing it down or romanticizing as like, oh, it's easier than it actually was for her to, but no, she finds those places with her personality that feel like they're not like oversimplifying something, and it ends up being pretty low stake as well. And I really enjoyed her bits as well. Like she gets into photography, and that's like connection with plants and like still life and all of that, and that whole process all like felt pretty meditative. And then Tony Leung is like, you like someone who studies brains, and then in his free time that he now has a big ass tree, and he like starts to study that one and tries to see if like what sort of communication is happening there. And there's a whole hijinks with the other like the what are they called,
the concierge,
the janitor. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be just a janitor. I think someone who's more in charge of like the whole university. Concierge, yeah. And he stays there as well, and there's a bit of like tension that maybe he doesn't like him. The way that they have the interactions like towards the beginning and the end of the film, it just all feels like pretty hopeful, and that is rare that we get something like this that doesn't feel like cheesy. It is like, and there's definitely going to be people who are bored and don't like this, but I found it just really, really nice. It was also shot very well.
Oh yeah, shot very well. And as you said, like the transitions, the editing between scenes are done immaculately, flawlessly, very smooth. If I have to bring up a scene, I could honestly listen to Tony Leung give a lecture a whole day. Because in the beginning there is a certain scene where it's in front of the people, and he legit, and it, like that scene sets the tone of the rest of the movie, because it is a scene where you ask everyone in the in the hall, like, hey, put off all your devices, put them off, turn your laptop down, and let's turn all the lights down. And then he's giving a lecture about how the adult mind and the baby mind works, while throwing around a big ball of light. And you see just the people, the students, their faces sort of glow up of excitement, of curiosity. And that is honestly what the rest of the movie is. That certain curiosity, creativity that leads to discoveries. Again, all these three different storylines have a certain common type of loneliness, whether it's literally because they're in a pandemic, or whether it's socially in their standing because she's the only female student at the school. And it is, honestly, we have handed this movie the Golden Lion in our own picks. And more people need to seek out this movie. I don't think it will be enough talked about, but I hope it does. I gave it 9 out of 10.
Me too. It's also screening at the Zurich Film Festival, hopefully some more film festivals, and does get this distribution. One of the mentions in the director, also 9 out of 10 for me, by the way, highest rated on our jury grade with a 4.25. The director writes, in times when it is so dangerously questioned and attacked, we should also like to draw attention not only to the importance, but also to the beauty and the naive, daring force of scientific research. And what I like about this film as well, it's not about these stories intersecting, about them leading to some sort of great revelation that we now understand plants, and they have this full organism and we can communicate with them. But it's also the process of research, how important that is, and how much that is currently being vaporized.
I mean, literally the beginning of research, because what Tony Leung does, is starting something new.
New study, cross study as well with someone. Both expertise. That's where Léa Seydoux comes in.
And I get the last thing I have to say about this movie is tree sperm. That's it.
You gotta watch the movie to get that. But I understood that reference.